16 years ago, I had the privilege of being the campaign finance chairman of Tom's campaign for governor. And what a different state we'd have if the citizens of Connecticut had made the right choice back then. But I remember at that time, the Connecticut Post had an editorial cartoon posted one day, and it had the 3 candidates for governor posted on it. There was John Rowland with the Republican elephant there. There was Bruce Morrison with the Democrat jackass. Oh, I'm sorry, donkey. And then there was Tom Scott, and his mascot was a pit bull. So I want to ask Tom if I can officially adopt his mascot, the pit bull, from my campaign. Would you give me permission, Tom? No offense to Republicans, I am running as a Republican, but I want the pit bull as my motif. Tom?
I'm retired.
All right. So the Len Suzio campaign mascot is now officially the pit bull. Move over, elephants and donkeys. Those of you who are from Meriden have a pretty good idea what I stand for, but many of you do not know me, so I thought I'd just say a few quick words. I am a conservative, and I don't mean a cafeteria conservative. I am a straight down the line, point-by-point conservative. Fiscal, social, you name it, I am a conservative. And I am not ashamed one bit of it. I welcome the opportunity to defend conservative values in Connecticut politics that have been missing for far too long. Now, those of you who watched me, I had the privilege, or the torment, of serving on the Board of Education for 14 years. And it was a great experience in many ways. I learned a lot about politics, a lot about education. And I think it will serve me well when I'm elected state senator. But I'm not a go-along to get along kind of guy. And you might say there were a few tumultuous meetings when I was involved with this. There was one meeting where I actually had a book thrown at me by a fellow board member. He was a little frustrated by my questions. There was another meeting where the president of the board tried to gag me and passed a rule where I couldn't ask questions for more than a minute on any particular subject. The very next meeting, the most wonderful thing happened in my whole political life. I showed up at the board meeting kind of thinking, wow, what am I going to do? They won't let me talk. And when I walked into the boardroom, it was jam-packed with people from all over Meriden who were there to tell the board president to go take his gag rule and put it you-know-where. A little while after that, I was walking down the aisles of Stop and Shop, and there was a little old lady walking in the other direction. And I could tell she was looking at me, and as we got closer and closer, she looked and she says, "You're Len Suzio, aren't you?" I said, "Yes." She said, "You're on the Board of Education, aren't you?" I said, "Yes." She said, "You know, I watch those Board of Education meetings all the time, and they used to be boring. But now that you're on, they're the most exciting thing to watch." Well, I got news for you. When I go to the state capitol, it's going to get real exciting up here. The days of spend, borrow, and tax politics will be over. The days of pork politics will be over. Pork politics will be dead in Connecticut. What we need is some good old-fashioned common sense brown bag budgeting. You know, the kind I know when I went to school, I took a little brown bag with me. Mommy packed me a little peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and we had a little milk there. You know, you lived within your means. You learned this. Don't buy what you can't afford. Don't borrow what you don't need. Now, repeat after me. Don't buy what you can't afford. Don't borrow what you don't need. One more time. Come on, let's get into this. Don't buy what you can't afford. Don't borrow what you don't need. It's time to get back to common sense politics and common sense spending in our state. And my opponent is one of the biggest tax and spenders there have been for the last 20 years. He's a powerful career politician, and he also may be the most ethically challenged politician in this year's election. And that probably is going a long way. He was fined the second largest fine ever on a sitting state official. He had a little trouble confusing his own personal expenses with campaign funds. He had a little trouble double billing for expenses to both the state and his campaign. He was fined for grossly inaccurate reporting of his expenses. He He has a long history of confusing his checkbook with our money. Now I ask you, can we trust to elect a state senator who can't balance his own checking account with an $18 billion budget? When this campaign began, my opponent put out a fundraising letter. He said he was in for the campaign fight, the political fight of his life. Well, guess what? We end to make this the last political fight of his life. But ladies and gentlemen, no candidate, no matter how good or wonderful, can win a campaign on their own. We all need your help. It begins with your vote, but every one of us needs more than just a vote. We need your action in our campaigns. Everyone who's spoken today and everyone who's out there fighting for votes now needs volunteers to do the little things. You know, you don't have to give $10,000 to a campaign to make a difference. You go knocking on doors, you put up lawn signs, you tell your neighbors about the good guys and make sure they understand who the good guys are. You can make a difference doing the little things. You don't have to be one of those big fat cat donors to help a good candidate win. So every one of us needs your help. We need you to go door knocking with us. We need you to get the word out. We all have volunteer tables here. I hope all of you will go there and get the word out. Phone banks. And on election day, cast your vote and then go down to our campaign headquarters and say, I want to help you get 100 more votes. And when you do that, I guarantee you, we're going to win. I'm looking forward to the end of this election. The next 4 weeks, I'm going to campaign as hard as possible. This is my third event already today. I'm headed off to another one after this. I will work as hard as I can to earn your trust and your vote. Thank you all for coming here, supporting us, because we all need that. We need that reinforcement, the cheering and the support you give us. Thank you so much. God bless America. God bless our state. God bless our families. And God bless all patriots.
You go, Len Suzio. The line, I can tell you that. And he's got a table around here somewhere, so if you're from the district, or even if you're nearby, and let me make a couple of points about this. If you don't have a state representative candidate where you live, or a state senate candidate where you live who's worthy of your support, find out about some of the neighboring towns, because chances are there's a good man or woman running for state rep or state senate near where you live, and they can use all the help they can get. So if you're near Len's district and you don't live there, and you've got no one locally to help out, well, there's a worthy candidate for your support.